I personally love Grounded. I really love Grounded. Like, to me, Grounded is one of the most creative and inventive types of survival, like crafting survival games. I need to just list them as survival games and stop trying to run circles around my own thoughts because that's what they are. But Grounded is a really amazing game. Like, it's just unique. It like what is the movie called Honey I Shrunk the Kids? Or I can't remember if that's the movie, but even the thought of Ant-Man, heroes like Ant-Man, it puts kids, which is cool, with like varying backgrounds, and shrinks them down. They're a group of friends, I think. I think that I can't remember really the lore, but was it the dad that wanted the sister? I can't remember what was totally going on here, but it's been a minute since I played Grounded, and it just sucks. I've seen like all of the updates that have come to the game, but I've not found my own time to actually play it. So, to you out there, the viewer watching this video, if you are playing Grounded right now, enjoy it for me. I'm so glad. Like I really love Grounded. You know, I don't know. And I feel like in a game like Grounded, the developers really care. So I can't wait to listen to this developer chat because I feel like the developers really care. And one thing I want to say to the developers is with the PC edition, one lovely quality of life change would be if they can remove the, because like literally this is funny to me. Let me just give you a quick background. I'm not going to go on a long tangent, but I care about the achievements in Grounded, and for some reason my achievements, they won't give me the achievements on Steam. So I think it's something to do with it being like an Xbox Live game. So it's just weird, and the whole Xbox login, and I don't know. I think that's the purpose, but I literally really don't. I used to be an achievement hunter when I was younger, but that kind of died away. And when I got into Grounded, I really wanted to get those achievements, and I just can't. They don't show up on my Steam, but a lot of them are already done. But it's okay. But that would be a cool quality of life change, just to make that hopefully work with the interface. I don't know what's going on, but nonetheless, going back to what I was saying, I think the developers truly care. Like, this is a team of developers that truly care about their game, and I personally think you can read it from just like how you see the game like evolving and stuff, that they're given creative freedom. So let's hop into it. My ranting out the way, and let's see what is the road to full release.
Hey everyone, Phil Spencer here. Really
This is a game I'm glad to see get a full release.
excited. We're gonna get to talk about Grounded. Great game, a game I love playing. We have Adam Brennicky here from the team. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm the game director, and thanks so much for having me. I'm super excited to, be here finally. We're at the end of the runway for Grounded, and it's a super exciting time.
Yeah, I mean, Grounded is a game we've been playing, for like a couple years now. Started in game preview, in Game Pass. I think it's been amazing to see what over 10 million people have played the game to date. I've played a ton. I love it. Can't wait for the 27th of September when we get 1.0, GA, story mode, all of the great things that are coming. To me, when I think about all of the games that we're building, one of the things I really love about Grounded is you find a passionate team, which you lead, a passionate team that has a real creative idea, maybe something that isn't exactly expected from the studio, but you had a vision about something you were going to go build, and that we could work together, foster, grow that to the point we're at now, where it's getting ready to release. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's wild to be like in this position to be able to make something so creative. If this is the first time you're hearing about Grounded or seeing Grounded, Grounded is a survival game, and you have to survive in this backyard environment. The main goal is to get home. We're at the end of our journey of building the game and with the community, and this is the final update for the full, complete yard.
It's the biggest update yet, right?
Yeah. We have a bunch of cool surprises, a lot of cool new environments that are going to be really fun to explore.
Yeah.
The team's pouring their hearts into it right now, and I think it's just been so fun to work alongside the community too, that we built with the early access and game preview programs. So many players have given us great feedback along the way, and it's really shaped how we developed Grounded. Right now, we're actually checking out the.
See, I like that. I feel like you really need a vision for a game to come to fruition like Grounded. Like, Grounded doesn't just seem like your normal. Like, they took the survival game genre and just said, let's flip it on its head. Let's, like, make it, like, the insects and everything, the animations of the spider. Not gonna lie. If someone says like that, like, at first, they may not bother you. Or it's the opposite. At first, the spiders may freak you out. But I'm telling you, it is so scary watching one of those things, like the wolf spider, I think it is, run through the grass around night, or just to trigger one of them at night. It is terrifying. But I'm really glad to hear him talk about the community and building alongside the community, because I feel like that is the thing that developers miss the most, is literally to sell a great product. I don't think it's rocket science. You provide what people need. You provide what people need, or you think they would need, but also yourself. What it has to start with you. It has to come from within. So what would add value to your life, and that other people would see value over, just things like that. And I feel like for him, when this vision probably started, it was like, because to me, I love the survival game genre, but there's not a lot of good survival games. Like, there's good ones, but there's like the pillars, and then everything else is kind of like here and there. Like, a really good survival game, I think, is Subsistence. But you're probably never going to really hear about Subsistence other than like in a small community and the YouTubers who play it. But Subsistence is cool, and it's done by one man. But like Grounded, like, and I was going back to the whole value thing and providing value, I think the easiest way is after you built something, and of course keep your vision intact with your team of people, but listening to the community or the people you're making it for, not just because you're making it for yourself, but others to enjoy this experience. And you got to listen. You got to listen to the community. And if you literally provide, little changes and shifts to the direction of the game on what the majority of the community is saying, you will always get the best results, because you're delivering exactly what people are asking for. Now, I don't think it's always realistic to do that. They're not going to say, maybe they make some sort of acorn bazooka. I was going to give an example, like, maybe somebody in the community or the whole community is like, add an acorn bazooka. Maybe the pressure would make them, but something like that I don't think that he would add to the game, or they would add as a team. But maybe, you never know, like some sort of honey twigs and something launcher, that'd be cool. But or maybe like a sticky cannon that like could trap the bugs. That'd be a really cool idea. But nonetheless, things that, listening to the community is really a strong suit of any developer, because it seems like lately more and more these days game developers are not listening to their community, and it's sad to see. And it's such a simple thing.
One of the early adventure areas in the game, it's the hedge. You're shrunk down to, the size of an ant.
Yeah.
And
actually, I think the ants are bigger than you are.
They're a little bit bigger, right? Yeah. The players right now are going through this hedge maze, and it's nestled on the side of the house. You're trying to figure out like how you got here and how you're going to get home. Part of the adventure is exploring all these cool areas and environments of the yard. One thing that we're really proud of for our final 1.0 release is our story.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that really separates us from most survival games. And we spent a lot of time world building, adding a lot of characters and storylines to the world.
Yeah, I think there's, like, for me, I played in Game Preview, Game Pass. It was a great co-op game because we get together as our friends. One of the fantastic ways to go play, build our base. I happened to go visit right around the Xbox Bethesda showcase. It was fun to come out to the studio, you and I getting together. Got me re-energized, so I went back into the game, but so much had changed. And now I'm so waiting for that story mode, the setting, because the story, it's a great setting for a story, kind of have a guided beginning of the game. And then the sandbox will obviously just open up for players. And how will you deal with, like, I assume you'll have some players who will be like me, returning, of the 10 million people who have played when it comes out. And then you have other players who are brand new, where the idea of, okay, now it's at 1.0, now is when I'm gonna go dive in. Like, you as a team, how do you think about those kind of different players coming, and how do you design for that?
That's a
Yeah,
really
so
good
I think the
question.
one thing that you know, we want to invite all the players that have tried Grounded, you know, even 2 years ago. We want them to come back and try it again and experience the full story, experience the full yard, because there's so much content in this yard. It's a big open world. There's so many cool environments, cool creatures.
I already see so much that has changed. I was one of those people that was with Grounded like 2 years ago, so that's insane to think about. Like, I was told, like, I think I was told in a stream or by somebody who commented on my old YouTube channel, hey, check out Grounded. And yeah, I never regretted it. It was so dope. And then I watched the streamer Ella Jazz play, and I really liked what he created. And yeah, it's just amazing. It's been hard for me to build like huge structures. I ended up getting into Terraria and putting like do I have like 180 hours in it, like right off the start, because I told myself Terraria was super hard to play, but literally I got into normal mode and I really started to understand the game, just learning it for myself, then jumped straight into hardcore and was like, oh, I was just nailing the game, man. I still got to get all the way through Terraria, but Grounded's kind of the same for me, and that's why I bring that up, because when I got into Grounded, it felt like there was no direction, or for me, I couldn't really build. There was too much like freedom in my mind, and you don't know what to do when you just launched into freedom. Sometimes you're like, what now? And especially in a game where you can be so creative, and I'm a creative myself, so it's just so funny. But I've never been able to completely nail exploring the backyard and getting into it. But I think now with the full release, that's what's bringing me back. Is I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, now they're dropping everything, so I can come back.
But I also, like, for the brand new player, you know, it's a survival game first and foremost, but it's definitely a different twist on a survival game. There's one thing that we're really proud of is the accessibility and approachability. So even just right now, we're looking at the Broodmother fight. So this is one of our boss fights in the game, where you fight this giant...
Look, they have the sensor mode on, so they have a mode if you're scared of like the spiders. I don't know if it's called sensor mode, but it stops the you can't see the full spider. That's why it looks like that.
Spider in her spider den. It looks kind of funny because we have a arachnophobia mode. And that's one thing that's really important to us is making the game accessible for all different types of players. We have tons of game options. So even if survival seems, you know, that might be a hardcore genre of game, we're trying to bring in a huge audience with a lot of options to play the game how you want to play. I think that's really important to us.
And we saw that in the community. Like, certain people just focused on the base building and building, I mean, frankly, almost level.
This is what I love about survival games, because that's what happens. Most people just focus on like one aspect of the game, and it's cool because it creates two communities of it. It's like people in Terraria, there's like the hybrids who focus on the building and like beating the game, then the speedrunners, all of that. I love when I see that happen with survival games. I'm telling you, survival games are like one of the best genres. I personally, because I've always loved things like DayZ. I could rant for hours about this, but I love to see the developer cares so much, like them and the team. And yeah, I haven't talked to anyone really in the community, so I don't know how, like, every community has its ups and downs, but I don't know if Grounded is primarily clean right now, but if it is, keep it clean.
Are bases that took over the whole size of the lake, which was awesome.
Yeah,
I think you're going to get a lot of people who want story. I think the boss battles and the kind of the circle of collecting items, building up your crew so you can go in and take down different parts of the game. Awesome.
People built huge fortresses and spent an enormous amount of time building these crazy, huge forts. And then that gave us ideas of adding more. So we added mushroom bricks, and we want to add more building materials in the future.
Well, and that loop that you're commenting on now, I don't think that it's not always recognized how important that is. Is like a team has a vision, that vision meets reality of through Game Pass and preview, 10 million people play and continue to play, and then they're going to give you feedback, and that will actually change your production schedule, right? Because you're going to listen and watch what people do.
Yeah, even as simple as like sitting in chairs. I know that was a fun one that we put in like a year ago.
Yeah.
That was a huge ask. Just like people just want to lounge around in their base, right? They built this huge now it's something, it's to chill, right? One thing for our 1.0 release, there's a couple more.
I love that because those little details make it such a good game. I love it. I love it. Like in any survival, like I'm pretty sure in Rust, like all the instruments that they add and like emotes, it just builds. Survival games are interesting, man. But yeah, all right. Survival games are interesting. I love it. They're so and Grounded did such a good spin, and it just feels good. It feels like something different. I've always loved Grounded, and I've always talked highly of Grounded, and I always will. I always will.
Surprise
I
boss
think it's
fights
one
that
of the
we're
best.
really excited about.
Any hints or no?
Well, we did show off the Mantis.
Yeah.
So that's something that I know a lot of players have been asking for a long time, to fight a praying mantis in Grounded. So we are delivering that experience, and we got a couple more surprises.
That's awesome. Well, congrats to the team on getting to this point. We're not quite there yet.
Yeah.
27th September.
Thank you.
I think for everybody who's played, myself included, I just love the craftsmanship and passion that clearly the team has in putting together such an amazing game. That's a great game to play either by yourself or with your friends. Can't wait to see it come out. And it's great to be here and get to show people more of the game. So thanks for all of that.
Yeah, thank you.
I love that. That was amazing. That was awesome. Anyways, yeah, if you haven't checked out Grounded, Grounded is a really fun game. If you're into survival games, can be difficult or hard at first to people, but you'll get over the loop when you start like learning the mechanics, and I think it's a game you definitely have to try because it's one of those games like, man, I'm a miniature person in a backyard surviving. Really nice game. All right, anyways, much love in Moonlight, and I'll see y'all in the next one. And if you enjoyed, subscribe and share the video. Peace.